I'm Laura from Customer Success Team at Consultor Inc. Group. Last week, we covered the FSBP evaluation program under FSBP 1.505, and today we'll be focusing on 21 CFR Part 1, Subpart L, Section 1.506, Supplier Verification Activities Program, as outlined under the Foreign Supplier Verification Programs, or FSBP, for food importers. This requirement plays a crucial role in ensuring that imported food products meet U.S. safety standards by verifying the foreign supplier are producing food in compliance with the necessary preventive controls and safety practices. Understanding and implementing this regulation within an organization is essential because it strengthens food safety systems and builds confidence in the supply chain. By consistently evaluating and verifying supplier performance, companies can identify and address potential risks before products reach consumers. This not only helps protect public health, but also reduces regulatory risk and enhances credibility with both suppliers and regulatory authorities. Ultimately, a well implemented supplier verification activities program supports a culture of accountability, continuous improvement, and compliance, ensuring that imported foods are safe, reliable, and meet all FDA requirements. This free training session is sponsored by Consulting Inc. Group, a compliance company. Founded in 2007, and we began by assisting businesses with U.S. import and export compliance and have since evolved into a global provider of food safety, quality, and certification support. Today, our services revolve around compliance management software, specialized training, and end-to-end support services that help organizations achieve and maintain compliance with international standards. Through our platform, interlinkiq.com, we offer an integrated compliance management system that streamlines documentation, monitoring, and audit readiness. We also provide dedicated compliance and certification support programs for FSBP, PCQI, SQF, BRCGS, FSSC 22000, QMS or ISO 9001, GMP, and HACCP, helping businesses strengthen their regulatory compliance, enhance operational efficiency, and ensure alignment with global food safety and quality management standards. Let's go over to our training schedule. This week, we'll focus on the Supplier Verification Activities Program outlined in 21 CFR, Part 1, Subpart L, Section 1.506. In today's agenda, we will begin by familiarizing ourselves with the FSBP 1.506 Supplier Verification Activities Program, starting with an overview of the requirements and a walkthrough of our compliance action activities performed on a regular schedule to maintain certification readiness. We'll also discuss the annual review and internal audit activities, which help verify program effectiveness and drive continuous improvement. You're encouraged to ask questions in the chat box, which we'll address in next week's session. Participants may also request a free 90-day trial of our FSBP compliance management software to help manage compliance tasks, assign accountability, and stay audit ready. Finally, all participants will receive a familiarization training certificate, and please ensure you've completed the free certification familiarization training sign-up form shared in the chat box. On the screen, you'll see a sample of a familiarization certificate you receive upon completing each session. With that, let's move forward to our training session, where we'll be working directly with the FSBP Compliance Management System software. So let's start by going over the description of the FSBP Section 1.506 Supplier Verification Activities Program. So please take a look at the description on the screen. So it says the purpose. Importers must conduct and document verification activities to ensure approved foreign suppliers consistently produce food that meets U.S. safety standards under the FD&C Act, is not adulterated or misbranded regarding allergens, provides the same level of public health protection as U.S. preventive controls or produce safety rules. Verification is the core control measure of the FSBP. So number one is the responsibility and oversight. Written verification procedure must be established for each supplier. Activities must be conducted or overseen by a qualified individual or QI. The verification approach must be risk-based and consider nature of the food and associated hazard, supplier performance and compliance history, previous verification outcomes, and corrective action. Second is the acceptable verification activities. Importers must select appropriate activities to ensure hazard control, and acceptable activities include one is on-site audits required before and after supplier approval for high-risk foods, must evaluate preventive control and their implementation, can be conducted by the importer, agent, or third-party auditor, requires written audit procedure, audit report, and retention of supporting documentation. B is the sampling and testing. Periodic testing of finished food, ingredients, or environmental samples where applicable. Use validated methods and accredited laboratories when applicable. Documents results, nonconformities must trigger corrective action. Review of supplier records. Review monitoring and verification logs, corrective action records, process validation, COAs, and audit reports, often suitable for lower or medium risk foods from reliable suppliers. For other activities, inspection reports, document reviews, traceability checks, regulatory certificates. Third is the frequency and justification. Verification must be performed before importation and at appropriate intervals thereafter. Importers must document the rationale for chosen activity types, frequency, and any reduction in frequency. High-risk products require more frequent and intensive verification. Fourth is use of third-party work. An importer may rely on verification activities performed by another entity, provided that results are reviewed and assessed by the importer, activities were performed or overseen by a qualified individual, documentation of the reliance and evaluation is retained. Fifth is the corrective action. If a supplier fails to control a hazard, the importer must take risk-appropriate action, which may include suspending use of the supplier or stopping imports, documenting the action taken and the justification, reevaluating the supplier, and verify corrective actions before resuming imports. Sixth is documentation and record keeping. Records must include type and frequency of verification activities, audit, test, or review results, QI signatures and date, and justification for methods or frequency. Corrective action records must be maintained when applicable, and for the retention, records must be kept for a minimum of 2 years, and availability is records must be accessible to the FDA upon request. Now, to summarize the program objectives, it aims to ensure that imported food meets U.S. safety standards through systematic verification of foreign suppliers. The program requires importers to determine appropriate verification methods such as audits, testing, or record reviews based on the level of risk associated with the food and the supplier. Verification activities must then be performed and properly documented through audit reports, test results, and related records. The frequency of these activities should be established according to assessed risk, supported by a defined schedule or justification. In cases where verification results indicate non-compliance or safety concerns, corrective action must be taken and recorded. Finally, all documentation should be maintained for at least 2 years and made available to the FDA upon request. 8 is the practical implementation tip. Many importers use a verification activity matrix that tracks supplier and product, hazard type, verification method, frequency, responsible individual, result, and next due date. So these matrix function as a real-time compliance and audit readiness tool. You may update or edit your description as needed to reflect any revision to the FSBP requirements. Now, to implement this program, we have created a list of action items in the compliance tab. So this section helps the importer or the designated FSBP qualified individual stay organized by scheduling tasks according to frequency, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or semi-annual activities. And here are some of the example of your compliance action items or the tasks you need to perform. So for the daily action item, log arrival of imported food and verify supplier is currently approved and not on hold. Check that verification requirements are not overdue before release. Review any COAs or critical records received with shipments. Flag nonconformities detected in incoming approvals for QI escalation. Update the verification matrix with any new data from daily checks. And for the weekly action item, conduct plan and record reviews for routine risk suppliers. Review test results, return during the week, and assess compliance. Log any third-party verification reports received and record QI evaluation. Update supplier status dashboard. Issue and follow up on supplier corrective action request if deviation were found. And for the quarterly action item, perform required periodic sampling or testing per verification plan. Reevaluate verification frequency justification for medium and high supplier. Review audit due dates and scheduled upcoming on-site or remote audits. Conduct quarterly CAPA effectiveness review on suppliers with recent failures. And reconfirm documentation retention compliance. For the biannual, perform on-site or remote supplier audits for high-risk foods or as scheduled. Review full supplier performance profile. Reassess whether reliance on third-party audits or tests remains justified. Conduct a formal risk-based supplier reevaluation. Document any verified frequency changes with risk rationale. Conduct formal FSBP QI oversight review and sign off on verification program status. So basically, these serve as a checklist of compliance activities that the importer or the FSBP QI needs to perform. You can either add your own compliance action items or we can preload all required activities for you to perform. To complete these activities, we provided corresponding work instruction and compliance activities in the instruction and evidence section along with the required artifacts or records to document completion. For example, to complete the action item, which states that check that verification requirements are not overdue before release. So let's check the work instruction. So first is you have to review pending verification activities. For the activity, before releasing imported food, confirm that all required verification activities for the supplier and product lot are complete and current. For the artifacts or record, verification scheduled or tracker, audit or test completion logs, COA receipt records. Step 2 is to identify overdue or missing verification. For the activity, flag any pending or overdue activities that could delay product release or require escalation. For the records, exception log or overdue verification report, notification to QI or management, risk assessment, or whole documentation. Step 3 is to prevent release of unverified product. For the activity, hold shipments where verification is overdue or incomplete until corrective action are completed and documented. For the records, hold notice or quarantine form, CAPA or follow-up action log, approval to release by QI. Fourth is to maintain traceable documentation. For the activity, ensure all verification checks, load, holds, and approvals are filed in the controlled FSBP system for audit and inspection purposes. For the artifacts, controlled record index or filing location, date stamp review logs, retrieval ready electronic or physical files. So these are the compliance activities that you need to complete. Now, to complete the specific action item, you need to upload supporting evidence of your artifacts, records, or log. Now, for this same action item, compliance can be demonstrated by uploading the supplier verification status record. Now, this record shows that the company actively monitors and verifies the status of all supplier verification activities before any imported product is released. It demonstrates that the organization is ensuring compliance with 21 CFR Part 1 Subpart L Section 1.506 by confirming that required audits, laboratory tests, and record reviews are completed and up to date. So this record also reflects the company's commitment to food safety and regulatory compliance by documenting each supplier's verification status, identifying pending or overdue activities, and implementing corrective action when necessary. In essence, it provides clear evidence that no product is released until all verification requirements have been satisfied, thereby maintaining control over supplier compliance and protecting the integrity of the imported food supply. This is just an example of evidence of compliance for your action items, and your aim is to complete every compliance action item by uploading supporting documents and turn every no into yes. So you are confident that you are compliant with the FSBP requirements. Next, let's go over to the annual review tab, which also serve as your gap assessment tool. So this tab is designed as an internal audit checklist in the form of a questionnaire, aligned with the FSBP requirements under 21 CFR Part 1 Subpart L. It lists all required annual review items to help you maintain compliance with the FSBP requirements. For the FSBP 1.506 Supplier Verification Activities Program, your annual review or internal audit may include questions such as: is there a written supplier verification procedure in place for each foreign supplier? Has a qualified individual reviewed and approved the verification program in the past 12 months? Has the verification approach been justified based on hazard type and supplier risk within the last year? Have supplier risk classification been formally re-evaluated in the past 12 months? Were all planned verification activities performed as scheduled this year? Have audit reports for high-risk supplier been completed and reviewed within the required interval? Were sampling and testing results reviewed by a QI and documented? Were supplier records reviewed and logged as required for each supplier? Is written justification for chosen frequency of verification for each supplier? Were any reductions in frequency documented with risk-based, rational, and QI sign-off? Were higher risk suppliers subjected to increased verification intensity when warranted? When using third-party audits or testing, did the importer review and evaluate the results? Is there documentation showing verification work was performed or overseen by a qualified individual? Is reliance on third-party verification formally documented and justified? Were corrective action taken for any failed verification results this year? Are corrective action documented with justification and outcome? Were suppliers re-evaluated before resuming approval after a failure? Are verification records complete, signed, and dated by a QI? Is there a consolidated verification matrix or dashboard tracking method, frequency, and results? Has a formal annual review been conducted to evaluate program effectiveness? Are trends in supplier performance documented and reviewed? Are outputs of the annual review reported to management or included in management review? So let's take one annual review item as an example and see how compliance is demonstrated. So for instance, the question might be, is there a written supplier verification procedure in place for each foreign supplier? So let's check the work instruction on how to complete this annual review item. So step one is to confirm existence for a formal verification procedure. For the activity, verify that a written control FSBP supplier verification procedure exists and is applicable to the specific supplier and product category. For the artifacts, FSBP supplier verification SOP, document control metadata. Step two is to check supplier specific application. For the activity, you have to confirm that the procedure is not only generic but implemented per supplier. For the record, supplier specific verification plan sheet, hazard to verification leakage document. Step three is to validate approval and control. For the activity, ensure that the procedure is reviewed or approved by QI and stored in a controlled audit-ready system. For the artifacts, QI signature and date on procedure, controlled repository location reference, SOP revision history log. Now to show compliance, you need to upload evidence of compliance, and here is the example, the written supplier verification procedure. So this record shows that the company has verified existence and implementation of written supplier verification procedure for each of its foreign suppliers, as required under 21 CFR, Part 1, Subpart L, Section 1.506. It demonstrates that the organization maintains a formal, documented process outlining how each supplier is evaluated, monitored, and verified based on the product risk and compliance requirements. So this record also shows that all procedures are current, reviewed, and properly referenced, ensuring traceability and consistency across all suppliers. For any suppliers without a written procedure, the record documents the corrective action taken, such as requesting submission or updates. Overall, this record provides evidence that the company has an organized and systematic supplier verification program in place and one that supports food safety, regulatory compliance, and accountability in the management of foreign supplier. Again, this is just an example of how to complete a specific assessment by providing evidence of compliance. Then again, your goal is to turn the status of every annual review questionnaire from no to yes to help you measure compliance progress while also preparing your products and facility for a potential FDA inspection or audit.